We're checking out Everspace 2 in 2024 to help you decide if it's still worth playing. In Everspace 2, you take on the role of Adam Roslin, a former military pilot now working for a ruthless corporation. Things take a sharp turn after a routine mission goes wrong. Adam is captured by outlaws, but manages to escape to an old, abandoned base. Along with fellow escapees, you start rebuilding and plotting a heist that could set everyone free. The game is packed with action, exploration, and a lot of space combat, keeping you hooked for hours. One of the biggest joys of the game is flying your ship. The controls aren't as complicated as what you'd find in more in-depth simulators like Elite Dangerous, but they offer enough freedom for a smooth and enjoyable experience. Dodging enemy fire, flying around massive ships, and navigating tight spaces all feel natural and exciting. The combat is intense, with fast-paced action keeping you on your toes. You'll be battling large groups of enemies, each bringing their own set of weapons, defenses, and abilities. This keeps things fresh and forces you to adapt your strategy. Taking down swarms of foes while feeling the power of your ship gives a great sense of accomplishment. But it's not all about combat. While exploring, you'll also encounter puzzles, adding some slower-paced moments to the mix. Using your ship's sensors and tractor beam, you can interact with objects, remove debris, or place batteries in the right spots to unlock doors or upgrade your ship. These puzzle moments are a nice break from the otherwise action-heavy gameplay. The main storyline of Everspace 2 is told through cutscenes, using hand-drawn images with voice-over narration. While it might not be the most high-budget presentation, it suits the game's focus on spaceflight. The pacing of the main quest is well done, steadily introducing more about the world and its characters as you progress. Aside from the main quest, there are plenty of side quests and activities to dive into. These side missions often flesh out the game world and introduce unique NPCs, adding depth to the universe. Whether you're chasing rogue AI, rescuing miners, or dealing with crime lords, there's always something interesting to do. For those looking for a challenge, racing tracks and rifts filled with difficult enemies are available to test your skills. One of the strengths of game is its game balance. Everything, from your ship to your gear, to the enemies you face, scales according to level. And in this game, level differences matter a lot. If enemies are only a few levels higher than you, they can be extremely tough to beat. On the other hand, if they're a few levels below, they'll feel more like cannon fodder. Visually, Everspace 2 is stunning. Each location you visit is like a work of art. From asteroid fields to huge space stations, icy planets, and colorful nebulae. The environments are varied and often awe-inspiring, with some locations featuring unique touches like massive icebergs or the skeletons of gigantic space creatures. Each star system has its own distinct look and feel, making exploration a pleasure. The game's soundtrack is another high point. The electronic music fits the sci-fi atmosphere perfectly. Whether you're cruising through space or engaged in an intense firefight, the music enhances the experience. The calm, ambient tracks create a zen-like feeling as you explore, while the more energetic combat music gets your blood pumping during battles. Everspace 2 has its strengths, but it's not perfect. The story is one of its weaker points. Characters like Ben and Delia feel one-dimensional, lacking depth and motivation. Maddox, the main antagonist, seems forced, which hurts the overall narrative. The game also withholds information at times, leaving you confused about certain tasks. This lack of clarity can be frustrating, especially when player choices feel restricted. Loot management could also be better. While crafting helps, the game drops a lot of junk items, requiring constant inventory cleanup, which interrupts the action. Though the game lacks skill trees or major choices, you can switch ships and experiment with different weapons and modules, offering some flexibility. The perk and challenge systems also provide clear goals that are accessible without excessive grinding, making the game enjoyable for a wide audience. Now, let's dive into what makes Everspace 2 even more exciting in 2024. The Titans expansion. The Titans expansion offers plenty of fresh content, making it a great reason to jump back in. It introduces massive repeatable encounters, 2 new storylines, and some of the biggest battles in the series. You'll face off against a colossal outlaw dreadnought with the help of NPC wingmen, pushing your combat skills to the limit. One of the coolest additions is the procedurally generated Leviathans, huge living creatures you can explore to reclaim lost tech. Combat stays exciting with new enemies and space creatures, while new legendary items, gear, and a deeper crafting system make the experience even more rewarding. In 2024, Everspace 2 still holds up as a solid space RPG. The core gameplay loop of exploring, Fighting, looting, and crafting is highly enjoyable and keeps you coming back for more. If you're a fan of fast-paced space combat and exploration, Everspace 2 delivers exactly that. Thanks for watching, and if this review helped, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more gaming content.